Hey, what's up? This is Dilio coming to another video, and this is my review of the XR18 mixer. It's an 18 channel mixer. You got 16, 17, 18 inputs. You got your main left and right output, headphone out. You got your 6 aux outputs right here. Fine control. It could be a hotspot, but I don't advise using that. You got alternate output, USB, because this is also an audio interface, 18 channel or 2 channel audio interface, depending on the mode you set it on. And you can also connect it to your wireless network or to your computer directly to control it. And, you know, this is my review of this product, and I think it's really good. I was really kind of taken aback by it. I was really sleeping on this for a while, and I didn't want to pull the trigger on it. But then eventually I was like, man, I need my own mixer. And so I got one of these. And the reason I got one of these is because the sheer power and flexibility that you have inside here, it's pretty intense. And I'm going to go to the screen to walk you through it. So if you want a quick answer, if you should get this, yes. But if you're the type of person who thinks they do sound and they just boost stuff on their channel, they don't cut anything, they just boost to make it sound better, this may not be the device for you, because it's a very powerful thing, and if you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to get lost into the whole thing that's going on underneath the hood. This has effects in it, all this stuff, and it's better for me to show you what it does with the software versus that. So this is just my preliminary review. Long story short, yes, you should get it if you know what you're doing, if you know how to do sound. If you don't feel like you know what you're doing with sound, and you're feeding back at your gigs, and you think that you're just supposed to boost stuff to make it sound better in the club, don't. But if you want to learn why cutting on your EQ helps you more than it hurts you, then you're in the right place. So let's go to the screen. I'm going to show you the screen real quick. All right, so now we're in the screen. So you may ask yourself, oh, wrong screen. All right, there we go. So you may ask yourself why this works. Okay, so this right here is the PC software. You hook this up via your Cat5 cable. Do not use your USB, because USB only connects this thing for your sound. This connects via the Cat5 cable. This is your control, and basically this is what's going on as a mixer. So your mixer isn't physically at the board, it's wherever you're at, or where your computer is at, wherever your tablet's at, wherever your PC. I'm just showing you the PC version of this. It looks like this on a Mac. You got your 16 channels. So let's look at one channel right here. Okay, so in your channel, you got your input, you got phase, you got phantom power on each of the channel. You can turn your channel into a USB return if you want to. You can insert an effect, or you can link the channel to another channel. So now you got a stereo link channel right there just by activating the stereo link. Don't want that there. You don't have to have that there. You got your noise gate. You got your equalizer right here. You got your compressor. You got your aux sends. Remember those 6 sends that you had on the front there? You can put it out there. These work really well. Very flexible, but they have a lot of routing options, and we're going to dive into that as we do in this video. And you got your effect sends as well. So not only do you have 6 bus sends, but you have 4 effects which show up right here. So as you can see, 4 effects right there. We're going to come back to that. You got your left and channel right there. You can pan it left and right there. You got DCA groups and 4 mute groups, which are controlled right here. And as you can see, you got your 4 effects processors right there. You got your main out right there. And so we're going to go through this. It's very deep, but this is just a review. But I just want to show you that this is your channel right here. You can adjust your gain. You got your gate block right there. And this repeats for every channel, even the aux channel right here. Now, this aux channel, they just kind of treat it like a little aux channel for like a USB or an aux cable from a cell phone, though you can use the computer as audio face. I like the EQs on this. Very powerful EQing right there. You got your high pass filter that you can turn on and turn off right there. That's also at this stage of the channel right there. So you can insert right here, or you can do your frequency right there. It really goes pretty far right there. You can sweep it all the way up to 400 hertz. You got your lows, your mid, your high mid, highs right there. And you can change how this works. So if you don't want a high shelf, you can do actually another low cut and do something crazy like that if you want to. You can actually set each one of these 5 well, each one of these 4 eco points above the RTA, above the, high pass filter. We got to do our engineering terminology right. And you're there. Like I said, if you know how to engineer, then you're in good shape. Typically, what I like to do is I like to cut. Now, you also have an RTA in here that shows frequencies right here, but because the mixer is not hooked up right now, it's at my side, you're not going to see any frequencies come up in here, but this is a good place to show you where frequencies could be causing troubles, in which you could do a little bit of cutting. And then you can also do a little bit of boosting right there. You got your compressor gates right there. If you want to do expander, you can. You got your knee that you can change it, make it more smooth with number 5, go to 0. You got your ratio of compression right here. You can go to 3, 4, all the way to 7, all the way to 20 if you want to stun right there. You can mix that for New York compression. You got your gain envelope sidechain filter. The sidechain can be fed by any channel coming in or by any bus. Sends. Here are your sends right here. Now, again, this is for every channel. Every one of these can be set differently remotely from your desktop or from your tablet or your Android or iPhone. Your bus sends can be fed straight to the input going to the bus. You can skip that. You can go pre-EQ, post-EQ, pre-fader, post-fader, or subgroup. So this bus can go to your subgroup. You turn it on, turn it off like that if you want to do that. But what I like to do is I like to go pre-fader and treat it like an aux send that is pre-fader that I can send to the buses, which would go to stage mixes, broadcast mixes, live stream mixes. You have that flexibility right there. You could also color these, but I'm going to get back to these sends right here. And each one of these can be set individually for each channel. Now, this is where you can get lost because all I got to do is turn that global effect off. When you turn it off, here's what happens. Say I'm on channel 1 and I want my bus 6 send to be on input. I go to channel 2. Notice that it's right back on post EQ. Notice on channel 5, I can set it over here. So now you got your bus send acting differently on multiple channels. That's there if you need to do that. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get lost. Because I got lost sometimes. But when you turn this global thing on, when you want bus 6 to have pre-fader, notice everything changes the same thing. That's something very important. You got your main block right here. You can pan in your main block left and right. You can turn your main stereo bus on or off. Mute groups. You have your auto mixes. That's another thing right there that I can get into at a later time. You got your meters. And this, obviously, this is where you can monitor all your analog inputs coming in. So you're like, oh, I don't know where the channel's coming in. But then also these light up right here. In this area here, that shows you where your mix is at. Now, as you can see, this thing is pretty deep. You got your alternate sends. And let's go a little further into this. But, I mean, it goes on. And that's what I like about it. There's so much in the box that you can save. Here is your routing matrix. So if you want input channel 1 to come on channel 16, you can actually, if you want input channel 1 to go on 16, you can have it. You can have it there. Or if you want all the analog inputs to show up, or if you want analog input 1 to show up on all 16 channels right there, you can do that. Or you can write it like that. So as you can see, that's just one place. USB returns come from the computer. You got an 18-channel audio interface that works with this. USB sends, alternate for personal monitoring mixing, aux outs going out to these buses, or you can change them to something else if you want to. And you have your main out left to right in your monitor from your headphones. You can also save a preset. So let's talk about the pros. The pros is that it's a very powerful mixer. It's fun to use once you know your way around. Hiding that mixer behind everything and then it not being an inconvenient place for you to reach your mixer when you got to make a change on the fly in the gig is good. The cons is that sometimes the setup can feel like a little bulky. Once you have it set up, you really don't want to move the mixer. Once you have the wireless set up, I mean, it's good once you got the wireless set up, but sometimes that feels a little bulky to get the wireless set up because if you bring a wireless router to this, it feels like it's an extra step. That's why it's important to show up early for your gigs, especially in Atlanta because of the traffic and parking, right? So, but with this mixer, you really have a lot of great options here to do a lot of good stuff. But the con is, I think, is that it's sometimes it can appear to be too deep, especially if you work with somebody who don't know what they're doing. And there's a lot of features I haven't talked about in this video that I'll talk about in another video if you guys want me to, or I'll probably do more tutorials on this device. But I just want to give my review. So the cons is that it's just a little cumbersome to set up. But outside of that, and you have to make sure you got a good control surface. The con is just like the built-in wireless itself. It's been known to drop out. So that's why I actually used a router and connected to that instead and controlled it via my iPad when I'm doing these channels. Side note, you can customize the color and name these channels right clicking on a number and putting your name right there. So if I want to put kick drum, boom, kick drum written there. And you have preset names right there on the PC. Don't really see that on the tablets. And that's pretty much the main con that I feel about this. And the effects, like the reverb, they sound all right, but then again, you got to make sure you got good speakers. So not really judging on that. I really wish they had like a built-in auto-tune on this. Oh, if they had a built-in auto-tune effects right that you could insert on one of these channels, we're done. We are so done. That's it. Conclusion. Little pricey. The price on these have gone up. They've been stuck in shipping. I remember they were sold out in Sweetwater. The prices have gone up. But like I said, once you have one of these, you're not going to need a whole nother mixer. And oh, by the way, it's a multi-track recorder. You can record multiple analog inputs all at the same time, going to your laptop or iPad device or any USB-enabled device. And also, if you want to use this as an audio interface, you have to install the driver. If you do not install the driver, it's not going to work right for sound. It's not going to work right for sound. So make sure you go to Behringer.com and get that driver and do that. But this is a win-win. It's a pricey investment, but this investment is going to last you. And this is easy to put away. It's easy to have people plug into this and control it on the fly, especially in gigs that are inconvenient and not the most spacious. And you're just trying to hook up and you're dealing with people, you're dealing with personalities and stuff like that. The con is, it's like if you're the guy running this, it's like a second job on top of being the person performing. So it's work. You have to engineer this thing. As you can see on the screen, there's a lot going on. So that's a con, but it's a great investment. That's my review of the XR18. Yes, it's good, and it's very powerful, and I think it's one of the best investments that I've used. And now I just need a couple of speakers and some monitors, and I can probably run my own PA company. All right, with that being said, I'm out. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to hear more about this device, let me know in the comments below. I'm gone.